there are a few more things we need to talk about. We need to first talk about accessibility. What does this public mean? The next thing we need to talk about are properties, or more, another way to say that is we need to safeguard our data a little bit more than we're doing right now. And then the final thing we're going to be talking about is what exactly is this static and why do we need it on main, but we don't need it on display? So just a quick recap, we have introduced classes today. Classes are a means of creating objects. We've already been using classes within our software, particularly the list class, which we've used to create lists of things. But in this case, we defined our own class called product. And what it allowed us to do is allowed us to encapsulate data and functionality that is specific to a user-defined class within our program, and allowed us to reuse that behavior and functionality within the rest of our software. So I'm going to talk about another kind of member. The use of this type of member will look very strange to people. And yeah, this is going to be a hard thing to justify. This is one of those things that is just how you write code. And what I mean by that is we have an example right up here of 3 public fields. Public fields are bad. They're bad because they are publicly exposing the data of our class to everybody. In this particular program, that is not as important. We don't really care about the fact we're publicly exposing this data. But in most software, you do. And the reason is that you really want to have a clear definition of what this class does, and you don't want anybody to muck around with his internals. So you want a way to safeguard this data. Right now, I am able to do something like this. So I'm going to remove this example and simplify the code a little bit so I can talk about access modifiers and accessibility and properties.